Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Walking the Blunt Blade. I am Oliver. Let's have a quick look at German politics and how American politics can affect the world stage. I've always said that Australian politics are irrelevant. They don't inconvenience or bother anyone, and that's a fact. But let's see what American politics can do to a nation like Germany. Hello. I am hardly a world-leading expert in politics. Matter of fact, I detest politics. Yes, kisses, gentle, oi. Leave the shirt alone. But we're gonna skip through this really quickly. Like, I've had extensive conversations with one of my best friends, Sci-Fi, and you can find him like on YouTube. He's got his own channel where he does a lot of action figure reviews. And I said to him at one stage, if Trump gets in, whether you view that as good or bad, what do you think is going to happen to the price of your action figures, many of which you import? Now, a day after the American elections, the German government pretty much collapsed. And when I say collapsed, no, it takes a little bit more, but a part of it collapsed to the point where Germany is now going to have an election in February next year, I believe, an emergency election, as opposed to kind of the end of September when they would normally have it. Now, before we get into why, I just want people to know that a lot of the history we get is actually, if not outrightly incorrect, then it's definitely adjusted. Did Germany lose the Second World War? Well, my belief is everyone lost the Second World War. I genuinely believe that. I believe there's a lot of significant things that have happened since then. For example, the people who claim to have won the Second World War, the Americans, have written their own narrative, and not all of it's 100% correct. Matter of fact, maybe 35% of it is correct. And I just want to highlight two really quick things. This is my vinyl from when I was a child. I used to love cowboy and Indian stories. Now, there was a semi-famous German author by the name of Karl May who wrote numerous books, specifically even Western related, that painted, allegedly, I haven't read them, to always have a Jew in the background somewhere making the Jewish person a bad person. And hence, these are the same books that Adolf Hitler would have had access to and read. And yeah. And it's been suggested that maybe that's one of the reasons Hitler had this anti-Semitic view. I think there's a lot more to it than that. I think if you take a real approach to history and listen to every side, you'll find there's Zionists that have a lot to do with the destruction and anti-Semitism that's around. So Zionists have tried to control, overthrow, influence government structures, royals, etc. And Zionists are dangerous. I also listened to and grew up with stuff like the Grimm's fairy tales. And when I say that, again on vinyl, but also A lot of it was regurgitated, like we'd lay in bed early in the mornings on weekends with my grandmother, and she would regurgitate some of the Grimm's fairy tales, which were just horrific. So it was something like this, which, again, I'm not sure Disney's ever portrayed the Grimm's fairy tales the way they were originally written. Now, I'm not suggesting they should, but Disney definitely needs to stop this whole woke bull crap. Some of these fairy tales were absolutely horrific and frightening. My understanding is that the day after the American elections, the German finance minister was fired, and because there was huge debate and panic about Trump's tariffs. Now again, Australia is not a world leader of anything. Our politics are irrelevant, whereas Germany should, by all rights, with their extensive history and knowledge, be world leaders. And that's part of my resentment. Now, I have my own views, and I don't have time to go into them all, but I think ever since Merkel, who was in power for, I don't know, approximately 16 years, Germany is sat in America's pocket, and Germany shouldn't. Germany should actually get rid of all American influences, is my personal opinion, and I'm not a racist. Now, a lot of the people I know in Germany, some of my friends, my family, for a long time have said, we don't care anymore if we're labelled as Nazis. Germany should be for Germany, and I totally and utterly agree. So when it comes to an intake of immigrants, refugees, Germany has been one of the highest in the world. Keep in mind, Germany is a lot smaller, size-wise, than the US. Now, when it came to Israel's retaliation to what happened in October, I always said Germany should keep out of it. My understanding is that Germany's the third highest country, or paying the third highest amount in the world to send over to Israel to continue this genocide. Totally disgusting. Israel is big enough and ugly enough to look after itself. And Germans, as I've said before, you should be ashamed. But again, I'm flashing up things I quickly found on the internet. Germany is also one of the highest financiers of the Ukraine-Russian war. And it's paying in more ways than one. Like, the populace is finding it as difficult to live as the Americans. Germany's pretty much collapsed. I personally think that Germany, should be for Germans. If America is going to build borders, then Germany should have done so a long time ago. Nothing against other nations or refugees. I've always said people who cause the wars should take the refugees. Sounds reasonable, doesn't it? Further to that, I'm not sure Germany has to finance the Ukraine and especially Israel. These are proxy wars that America wants to run because I, amongst numerous people, have said no more wars for America. It has very little to do with Germany. I think, without being racist, Germany needs to eradicate all American influence. Germany needs to now pull up its big panties and be the world leader that it should be. I am not anti-Semitic. I've always stated, and it's true, I hate everyone equally. Or maybe more honestly. Without the humour, I distrust everyone equally. I just feel that American elections and America in general has just caused chaos for too many years. And even at this rate, people like Putin make more sense than any American policy or politician. Like, the guy speaks well. You got nothing in America. Germans have enough history and enough knowledge and have supported most of Europe financially for a long time. And I think it's now time for Germany to step up and say no more America. So I'm not anti-Semitic, I'm not anti-American. As much as I dislike Trump, I think he was probably the best for America. Unfortunately, it's had a big knock-on effect to the rest of the world, or it will have. We're going to watch. Where's my puppy when I need him? Good morning, everybody.